are live today. Or not today, but yeah. You get
When
the fucking idea.
something's happening. That's all.
Something's happening. Just a quick shit, I done goofed. Just a quick roll call for people who are here. I know Remy's here, I know Gil is here, I know Kelly is here, Arya is here. Alex, are you with us?
Of course.
JC, are you okay?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Everyone is currently alive in their presidential time. And we
My
are,
resident favorite tree.
yes. Let me go ahead and get my actual live stream up so I can at least make sure everything is hunky-dory over there. Make sure that everything is not goofing up like I normally do. And everything is okay. We are all set. Let me go ahead and actually get... What the fuck happened to the tents and everything like that on this land? Oh wait, never mind. Hang on, let me actually pull up the right board for everyone, so that way we could all see what the hell is going on, because I know exactly what I'm doing. Alright. Everyone go over here. I know what I'm doing.
What just happened?
Everything has happened.
No, why? I can't. This cannot be.
Alright, I'm summoning everyone to this board, so, because this is exactly where we left off. Unfortunately, God of Dog, or Dog of God, must be moved over there.
God dog must sit out for this time.
I mean, to be fair, we have
I have
God.
to leave them.
Yo.
We have God chicken too. So.
Oh shit! Sorry, my bad. Excuse me. That was my crispiest burp.
Alrighty. So, last time we have left off with the successful attack on the Kinku camp that has been causing a lot of issues with travel and also with the caravans that have been coming through from Hearthaven to Greyspell, or vice versa. You managed to defeat all five of them. Four of them are completely dead, and you have left one for capture. And we also left off with Gideon and Cove praying to the hundreds of fallen people. And speaking of, I would like to actually go a little bit more into detail, with that little area. We'll start off with you, Cove. What is Cove chanting about in terms of, like, what are they praying? What's their exact words that they're using for their prayer?
Okay, just a little heads up. I can't speak loudly because people are sleeping and they got upset with me about speaking loudly last time. So turn me up so you can hear me.
Don't worry, you sound awesome, and in fact, for me, you're extremely loud, so I actually had to bump you down a bit, so you're fine.
She's plenty of boisterous.
Good mic. Anyway.
Good soup.
So Cove is obviously praying to Shantara about the loss of lives for no good reason and hoping that they didn't have too much of a painful death because she does not believe in the afterlife, so she's not praying for that.
During the midst of your prayer, you see kind of like a somewhat in the center of everything when you finally finish your prayer, somewhat of a blue, somewhat crystal clear sparkle go around the central area of this pile, letting you know that Shantara hears your prayer and wishes all of them a safe journey to wherever they are going, whatever happens past death. Gideon, you are also praying, but this time to a different god and a different entity. What is your character praying.
Okay. So Gideon's gonna get down on his knees, and he's more so doing this out of habit than actually like meaningfully. So he's gonna get down on his knees, and you're gonna hear him say, just quietly under his breath, "Grant unto them eternal rest, and let perpetual light shine upon them. May the souls of the faithful be departed through the mercy of God, and may they rest in peace." And he's just gonna say that, and quietly stand up and walk away. He's not like expecting an answer or anything. Yeah, that's all.
As you get up and you look at the pile one last time, you also see the blue crystal-like, almost clear sparkles coming around the central pile from Shantara and from Cove's calling and prayer.
Okay, cool.
And then you slowly turn around and you walk away. We now go over to Dobby. What is Dobby going to do?
I'm just gonna watch as these three interrogate this monster into why he was attacking the camps, and just lean back and watch, not do anything too much.
Tiario, what exactly are you doing?
At this point, I'm just trying to take in everything because I'm like I had started near the end of the fight. I'm trying to send all the information I can to my creator. But I'm also going to be kind of just observing this because we're just standing over the body, correct? Maybe I'm incorrect.
You're currently looking at the somewhat returning to conscious, Kinku body that has been knocked down and tied up.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm just going to be like, at the ready to bonk him unconscious. I'm just watching this thing. Like,
you're ready for the almighty bonk. What about you, Sentry 420? What exactly are you going to be doing?
Sentry's actually a little taken aback about how the fight went for him, considering what was originally planned, and would probably just be sort of standing there, daggers still out, and just contemplating and just sort of looming over everything.
You also, do you take notice of your arm that has been basically almost crushed and dented?
Yes. So I will also probably spend the minute casting Mending on that and bring it back out.
As you cast Mending, you hear the slight bending of metal as it continues to kind of undent itself. Actually, I want you to roll to, not just for mending to see how much is repaired, but more so to see just how much is fully repaired. 15, which this is just gonna be...
What stat do you want me to use?
We're just gonna use a flat roll for this. As the metal, you hear it slowly moan and ache and creak, trying to bend back to place. Most of it will. However, there are going to be some slight creases, as well as some dents, almost like bruising of the metal itself. But a good majority of it has gone back to normal. The functionality is still perfectly fine of it. You would have to go and see Vector about getting the rest of it bent back into shape.
Yeah, that's cool.
Alrighty, and then last but not least, Juan Taurus. Juan Taurus. What are we doing today?
So I'm gonna prop the Kenku up in a sitting position. His hands are tied behind his back. And I'm going to sit in front of him. And I'm gonna look him in the eye. And I'm gonna just slap him in the face a little bit. Like, hey, wake up! Wake up, little bastard!
As
I got
you
things to talk about.
As you prop him up onto his knees, you don't even need to slap him to get him back into consciousness. By now, he is fully back into consciousness with 1 HP.
Cool. So, how badly roughed up is is this guy?
Let's
Like,
see.
I think we thrashed him. I'm pretty sure.
I think he was shot, bonked, and I think shot and stabbed again. I'm not
Slashed a few times with daggers as well.
Yes, he's been slashed with daggers, shot and bonked in the head. So he's pretty, like, let's put it this way. If you, like, even remotely toss him to the ground, more than likely he's actually gonna die from his injuries.
So, is he bleeding from anywhere, particularly?
Yes. Mostly in the stomach area. That's
So-
external. Internally, you have no idea.
All right. So I'm gonna ask our friend Tiara. Hey, Tiara, you, treat. I'm gonna need you to do something for me. Our friend here does not seem to be well. I would not want him to perish doing said things. Treat him kindly. We can see about what we can do about him. If you could, kindly.
I can no longer cast any magic today. I would need to rest before I could.
Well, damn. Everyone know how to take care of medically wise of this man. Or thing. More so it's a bird, actually. Actually, it's more of a bird than anything, but, semantics, you know. Does anyone know? I'm not very, knowledgeable of what our party can do, or anyone can do right now.
Negative.
I can't do any healing. Sorry.
Well,
That's know what to do.
fuck. Well, I'm just gonna fuck it. So, I'm gonna try an attempt to, like, patch a wound with a bandage. Like, I'm just gonna rip, like, just a piece of a blanket off that I have on my back. And, like, into a rag.
I want you to roll for medicine.
Alright. I shall roll for medicine. I have rolled a 14.
14. You rip up a piece of cloth and you try to attempt to essentially stop the external bleeding the best that you can. During this time, the Kinku will kind of flinch back and kind of struggle a bit as to he does not know what the fuck your attempts are doing, and for all he knows is that you're trying to murder him, and so he is just resisting a fair bit as you do this. But you do manage to actually wrap it around him to stop the bleeding, as the Kinku kind of has his mouth open, just breathing heavily.
So I have some water, so I'm gonna open up my water, and I'm just gonna give him some.
The Kinku, when you attempt to drink it water, the Kinku kind of coughs it back up.
Well, so you're not thirsty, mate. All right. Well, he's the only lead we have so far. What might be happening? So we gotta treat him well. Make sure he lives. We'll talk eventually.
Do you want to go ahead and interrogate it and see what it knows?
So I'm gonna ask him. All right. I know your kind. So do I know? Let me ask. Do I know of what their kind does? Because people have come into my shop.
Yes, you know. Actually, I want you to roll for a wisdom.
Fuck yeah, let's go. I have rolled a 13.
13. You know a fair bit about them. Not too much, however. But you do know that they don't necessarily have their own voice, quote unquote. While their own voice is mostly consistent of standard bird noises, such as little caws, some squeak. depending on the actual breed of the kinku from where they originated from. But otherwise, you know that they don't necessarily have their own voice, and they tend to mimic a couple other people's voices.
Okay, so let me ask. So is he making any like bird sounds at the moment?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask Dobby. Dobby? Alright. Just between me and you, I need you to make sure this guy doesn't die. Alright, so I've staunched his wounds, alright? He's not gonna bleed out, but he's battered and bruised, he's been shot. We're gonna try and make sure he lives. We're not gonna treat him like a prisoner because we don't need to do that unless necessary. Unless he shows that we need to, you know. Like if that happens,
You mean it'll be too funny with a guy that was just trying to kill us like 5 minutes ago?
But the thing is, I'm gonna go over and whisper to him, and I'm gonna whisper. I'm gonna go to him. I'm gonna whisper.
I kneel down to get a match his height so he can reach my ear.
Say, this is a psychological thing. The thing is, we treat him nicely, and he may give us information. We just gotta oil the gears, per se. All right.
As
I like what you're saying, but this is taking a little too long.
As-
We need information now.
Okay.
as you are talking like so,
Yeah.
the kinku finally speaks. And Taurus, it is a voice that you clearly remember. An old comrade, if you will. He starts speaking, and essentially all you hear is just, I may not be a leader of the vultures anymore, but you know what? You are still my family. As he kind of looks down at the ground.
You just see me like very quickly. Everyone looks like if anyone's looking at me, you see my guy whip very quickly at him with a very, very violent intent. How the fuck do you know?
The sentry's not there. He's doing something else.
All right.
And then once
Like,
when
like my hand is shaking very aggressively at this moment.
let's cut back for a quick second. Century 420, what are you doing?
They want to go search the tents. It's what they're sort of designed to do.
I wanted to do that too. Just saying.
We want to, but so all three of y'all want to go.
I'd be more than I was going to say, be more than happy to have the help on that because I get a really good bonus anyway.
So y'all are looking through the tents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which tents do you want to? You see two tents. Both of them identically the same in terms of their entranceway. There's not really any tent folds or anything like that. It's two really long dead branches tied together with twigs and also spindle, as well as some pieces of ripped up cloth from other merchants, from what you could only presume as from previous clothes belonging to the merchants and people that you have seen. And each entranceway lit up by two fires, both intricately made to last a really long time.
Nice.
And let's.
So yeah.
So I see.
This way.
So I see Gil went to the right one, and then Cove and Citry went to the left one. We'll start off because we're already on y'all two. We'll go ahead and start with you two. As Cove and Sentry walk into these tents, you see a bare rug in the far left corner of the room. To the direct right, as soon as you walk in, you see a bedroll, as well as another bed to your direct left. This one more so made in hay with a straw pillow. And to the one to the right along the side, you see a row of chests. All of them closed. To the far right hand side, in the far right corner, you see countless amounts and piles of books. And right beside it, a more handmade chest that looked like it was been like sprawled together very quickly.
Since you would probably go to the unique chest first.
All right, you go over to the chest and you take a closer look at it. The handle.
I would like to. I was going to say. I would say when I get there, I would like to check for traps and to see if it's locked.
There is no lock. Because this chest, the only handle that it has is from like what you could presume is like a very large rat skull. In which there is no room for any lock. I want you to make a investigation check. A 2.
That's still an 8 total.
An 8 total. You look rather haphazardly around the chest, fairly too eager to see what's underneath of or what's inside of it. Though you don't see. You open it and surprise, surprise, there is no traps. As you open it, the foul stench of rotting meat comes wafting into Cove's nose. You see a bunch of flies and things like that hovering around and scattering around the chest itself now more clearly. You do find, however, besides rotting meat, you do find some rather unique small pelts. A couple from like albino rabbits that are white fur. A couple of them, some large rats, specifically rat tails, and a couple rat hides. And then there's just one decaying wolf pelt that looks like it was very shittily carved out. You see plenty of scratch and scar runes from it too.
I ignore it and go to the chests.
You go to the other chest. While you are doing that, Cove, what are you doing?
I would like to look at the books, please.
The books that you see are mostly just gonna be like old diaries and ledgers from a shit ton of the merchants and the caravans that came swelling away. You see that a good majority of the ones that are on the floor, their pages have been ripped out, mostly for what you could presume only as like fire, for kindling for fires. Or sometimes bedding, or even some toiletries if you must. But the ones that are hanging, they seem to be more into pristine condition. But still, regardless, if you read the spines of them, they're more so just more ledgers and things like that.
How many can I take?
You could take upwards. What's your carrying capacity, or what's your carrying weight right now?
Let me see. 87 pounds.
I will allow you to take upwards of 5 books.
I don't want to like make it too heavy. Can I grab 3 of them?
Sure. Do you want to take a couple of the smaller ones, or do you want to take a couple big ones?
Which ones look the most fancy?
The fanciest one is, there's gonna be one on the ground that looks like it has a lock onto it, with the key near it, but not directly on top of it. It's like a couple books down, you'll see like a key to it. That one has more so like a leather binding to it. Has like a very simple lock mechanic onto it, almost like a diary that you would get in like probably like your preteens, when like IRL. Do you have one that's hanging above that's a really thick book, that has a lot of leather binding to it, no scratches or anything like that. It's almost as if it's brand new looking. It does have some bookmarks into it. And then the one at the very top of the hanging area, that's already halfway open, it has a a red leather binding onto it. but that still looks extremely fancy, and it has a picture of an old man's wise tale onto it, depicting a man with a flute with a bunch of rats underneath of him, almost as if they were carrying him.
Yeah, I want to grab all of those.
You got it. Add three leather-bound books to your inventory. All right, we go back over to you, Sentry 420. Which chest
I will
will
check. I will go left to right, checking for locks and traps each time.
All right, I want you to make rather 3 different investigation rolls or 1 overall investigation roll.
I'll do 1 for each chest.
Okay.
So furthest left is it's a 24 total.
24, there's no locks or any traps onto it. As you open it up, it's just a bunch, and I mean a fuck ton of clothes. Presuming from the age of it, it's more so like elderly men's clothes to more so like lumberjack, like really beefed up clothing, such as like, I would say probably like double XL if you would compare it to real life.
Okay, middle chest.
That's an 8.
That's an 8 again.
No traps or anything like that you could see when you open it up. It's not as many clothes or anything like that, but it's more so children's clothes.
Okay, and then the final one.
An 8 again.
8 again.
No trap.
I'm good at this, I swear.
From your perceiving look, you see no traps. As you open it up, you hear a slight click. I want you to make a dex save.
Okay, I've got a +4 on that, so I'm going to grab a new d20. Fuck. That's an 8.
That's an 8. Let me roll. Where's my d4? Okay, that ain't much. As the trap springs to life, as you hear this click, you hear a thing as a dagger comes flying out of the chest and immediately punctures the other side of the tent. You take 1 damage.
Man's really good at rolling 8s.
I'm going to go and grab the dagger and then go and look in the chest.
You grab the dagger, add another dagger to your inventory, and then as you look into the...
I've suddenly gotten really good with daggers. He's going to collect them.
As you look into the chest, you find... Let me roll this real quick. As you... Oh, fuck. As you take a look into this chest, you just...
Please tell me you rolled an 8.
No. If you want to know what I rolled a nat 1.
Ah, bollocks.
As you take a look into this chest, you do see it's a bunch of kids' toys. Ranging from rag dolls to like the Raggedy Ann dolls that have like the red hair, the blue button eyes, the blue dresses. Some wooden toys such as like little ducks on wheels and things like that. As you look deeper into it, you do manage to scrounge around and you find yourself 5 gold.
I will definitely add that. And hang on, let me quickly check my proficiencies. No, I wouldn't have reason to take any of that. I'd leave it all. But I'll grab the 5 gold.
You got it. Add 5 gold to your inventory. Next, we go over to Gideon. Gideon, as you walk into this tent area, to your left side, from what you can see, is a bundle of leaves to presume to be like bedding, makeshift bedding. To the right, you see a bear-skinned rug, as well as a neat bedroll, intricately made, as well as has a fresh sewn pillow. To the far left-hand side of the room, you see a chest to the right and as well as adjacent to that corner is another chest. And then directly to your left-hand side, you see a very intricately made chest, as if it was delivering some heavy cargo, with gold trimmings and oak furnishing.
Okay. Oh, what was that? Okay. I'm gonna pop up a quick divine sense in the room. I sense the presence of any. Oh, I know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
As you pop this, you get no pings.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. I will then approach. First, I'm going to investigate this. Uh,
The
this thing
bedding.
here. Yeah,
Go ahead and roll for investigation.
sure. Investigation. It's +2, so 9.
9. As you look through the remnants of the bedding, it comes to find out it's not actually bedding at all. It's their toilet.
Oh,
As you shift
cool.
as you shift through, you see a lot of bird droppings and also a lot of just fecal matter in general.
Gross. Gonna hold my nose and continue investigating this and that chest and all the chests.
Okay. Do you want to check for traps or anything like that, or are you just gonna open it?
Nah. I'm
Uh,
gonna check for traps.
I want you to, as you open that first one, I want you to make a dex saving throw.
Oh shit! I should have checked for traps. Dexterity saving throw. It's 20. I'm not sure.
Dirty 20. All right. With this, what I'm gonna have you do is I want you to also roll for what I would roll for. I would also let you roll for perception or investigation.
I think I will do perception. Yeah, I'll do perception. That's 13.
13's enough. As you come to open it, you have a strange feeling that something is there. And as you slightly open it, you hear the faintest of clicks. You immediately drop the chest lid to see if what exactly it is that's making that click. And when you get on your hands and knees, you slowly peek up and you see strapped to the lid of this chest a tripwire that was about ready to spring open. And on the lid of it is some kind of weird contraption that has a flint and steel trapped or hooked onto this tripwire, and around it is what you could only presume is some kind of flammable substance, as well as a bunch of caltrops that looks like it's about ready to explode.
Okay, all right.
You got lucky.
Yeah.
Man's about to literally find Jesus in that chest.
I'm gonna leave that chest for now. I'm gonna go to the other one, and I'm gonna call out and say I found a trapped chest. You know.
I'll go over to help try and disarm the chest, but that can be in its own time.
You got it. So everyone hears this, and we move on to the other chest real quick. Do you want to do the same thing, just open it haphazardly, or do you want to actually check for traps this time?
No, I'm just gonna open it. No way, both of these are trapped.
Oh my god! Good luck.
There's no way.
As
It
you open the chest once more, and to your surprise, that one's not trapped. This one just looks like has a bunch of it's like a junk drawer essentially, full of old writing utensils, some ink, things of that nature.
Cool. All right. Can I take some of the ink?
Sentry's gonna look over and be like, "Save me some."
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So-
you,
Fucking-
throughout the entire chest, you managed to find yourself 3 fully complete ink vials.
Oh, sick. Okay. Yeah. I'll grab one. I'll grab two. One for,
Awesome.
and then yeah. I guess I'll check the last chest as well.
Give me one.
You check
Please.
you check the last trap, and, not the last trap, you check the last chest, and this
Oh.
one is actually locked.
It's locked.
Yes.
I can help with that too.
All right. I'll tell him that this chest is locked.
You say this one's
Tinker's
locked,
tools.
and, Sentry finally enters the room, and what does Sentry want to do?
So I will be like, could you just give me give me a bit of help? And I'm asking if, hey Gideon, could you take the help action? Give me advantage.
Yeah, I'll
Cove,
do
you
that.
come into the room as well?
Yeah.
Alright, so Cove is also here. Which one do you want to deal with, the trap or the lock?
Going to start by disarming the trap on the fancy chest.
Trap on the fancy chest. Alright, I want you
And
to...
Gideon is helping me for advantage.
Yep,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll for that.
First of all, hey Cove, is there anything you can do to help?
Probably not.
Actually, could we like douse the chest in water so that like anything flammable doesn't really like anything?
Too late, 19 plus 6. That's a 25 to disarm the trap.
That's fine, you got
As
this easy.
Sentry 420 looks at this, not even just the wire itself, as soon as you open it, just slightly, you notice the mechanism easily on the inside, and you just go, oh, well, this is a very simple fix, as instead of using your thieves' tools, you just take your fist and just slam against the top of it to disarm the entire mechanism from the outside in.
I just break it. It's like, oh, this is simple build. I could just go, boom, done.
Yep.
Man, this is child's play.
This is
Some fucking air
this is just amateur stuff. And then I will ignore what's in it and just go and work on unlocking the other one.
You go to work onto unlocking that. I want you to roll.
Yeah, so I'll do this one. Oh, yeah, that's a 22.
22.
Damn.
It only takes you a few moments to find the sweet spot of this chest. You would believe that it was going to be like extremely easy because they're Kinku, they're dumb.
Yeah,
But
I saw the quality of their trap. I was like, oh, this lock's going to be a piece of piss. Click. Oh, shit, yeah, done.
yep, and as soon as you unlock it, it swings to life.
Oh,
Oh,
It's a bloody mimic, isn't it?
like
This mimic.
it's a sticky
It's
boy.
not. It's not a mimic. I was using it as an
Oh.
expression. It kind of
Thank
just.
goodness.
It just
Oh.
It just opens by itself as soon as the
Danger
lock
I
is
will
there.
definitely peer inside for this.
As soon
Dangerous
as
words, DM.
it swings open, you take one good look inside of it, and this chest is just packed to the absolute brim with just random assortments of clothing, some bones, writing utensils, as well as like a couple brass goblets and things like that. As well as some other furs, miscellaneous stuff, blankets, pillows, you name it, it's in there.
Would you be able to write me a list of stuff and I'll tell you what Sentry would take, as it would be kind of weirdly specific things that they take? For example, the brass goblets for sure, and just anything similar to.
The only thing that's similar to it is just gonna be the brass goblets.
Okay, well, they'll definitely take those, stick them in the backpack, and maybe one of the nice furs as well.
The nice fur that you end up getting is actually a dire wolf pelt.
Oh, that's perfect for their size.
It's very thick and also with it's similar colorations, but it's a lot denser in terms of the hair goes for it. And as far as the brass goblets go, You find a total of 4 brass goblets, which is basically a full set.
Nice.
Gideon, what do you do?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I'd like to go over to the fancy one. Take a look.
Fancy chest?
What's in there?
Cove, what would you like to do?
Well, I don't see a lot of interesting things in there, but I would like to get one of those ink files.
The ink files? Yeah, sure.
Yes.
You
for
go
my
over
writing.
you go over to this chest and you look on the very top, and on the very top of the chest you see one of the ink vials.
That's all.
Gideon, as you look into
Yes.
this chest, and which you don't even need to open the chest for, there is a giant hole in the center of it. You see some of the remnants from the trap laying on top of it, as well as some wood chips and wood pieces from it.
Yeah.
But
Actually, can I know it's a little bit late, but because I am an artificer, would I have been able to retcon it and try to take the things to try and use it for something for later? I've just remembered I am an artificer, high intelligence. That's the problem, I'm not. So he would probably have tried to disarm it best he could to steal it and use it for a later thing.
you know what? Because
And with the 25 rolls, that's why I'm thinking, can I ask for that?
yeah, you know what? It's a minor thing, so we will retcon it. Essentially, you would essentially find the locking mechanism that holds everything into place, and you would disarm it that way. So when the actual whole of the chest comes open, you will be able to take everything from it if you want to, which you would gain what is it? 1 string, a bag of caltrops, a flint and steel, and a total of 5 gears.
Gears?
Okay.
Gears.
Oh, gears. Okay.
Whilst the interrogation's going on before they take it apart, they will spend a good amount of time making a blueprint of how it was all set up.
Yes. Gideon, as you look and peek into the chest isn't filled up with much. Just 2 single books and a bag of unknown content.
Okay. I'll take all of that. Take both the books in the bag.
You got it. Put into your
I sniff
inventory.
books.
Put into your inventory 2 worn books and
Mm-hmm.
a cotton bag.
Cool.
Now we will go over to the interrogation. While Montoris is having their little moments of realizing what is happening, the Kinku's eyes begin to glow green, a blackish greenish hue, as the eyes start to spew black liquid from out of them. With this, the Kinku kind of spasms a bit as it tries to speak in a tongue that is unfamiliar to it. After a bit, the Kinku will kind of snap its head as if breaking its own neck, as it looks straight into and looks at everyone individually, even turning its head a full 180 to look at Tiaria.
Damn.
As it cracks back into position and kind of does like very unnerving twitches and cracking and breaking of all of its bones, as it finally has the words to be able to say, "The Dark One is approaching. You have meddled in affairs that are not your own." After saying this, you hear a few more bones break, and I need Tiaria, Dobby, and Wantoris to make a dex save.
Okay.
Oh shit. Well, fuck. Well, that would be a 21.
I got 15.
21, 15. Tiara?
Can I take
No.
this time to warn everybody else? Well, yell
I forgot I was muted.
that
Sorry.
you might be in danger.
Not
It's a 9.
I
9.
don't think we have enough time. I don't think so. Because
Am I too in shock from him to breaking all his bones?
honestly, dude.
The main reason is because it would be too quick. Now,
Okay.
as you see the green eyes glow brighter and brighter, from the few bones that are cracking, Dobby and Montoris, you manage to quickly, like, kind of duck out of the way, whereas Tiaria kind of takes the full blast as the Kinku's head, with a violent explosion, explodes. With the bone essentially shattering like a frag grenade. Tiaria, you take 4 damage.
God damn.
As the Kinku's head explodes and finishes, you 3 turn around to look back at it to see exactly what happened, and you see the Kinku's head is no longer there, and it's just the body that's kind of just cracking still and contorting into weird different positions. As you just hear sound as it falls over and dies. That Kinku is dead.
No.
Well, so Wantor's is still fucking really pissed after hearing that voice. He's frothing mad.
Hey, yo, Big T, are you okay?
Big T.
Well, I gotta say, some memories may have come back, and I do not like them. And how the fuck did a goddamn bird know about that shit?
I'm just gonna say, with wounds on my face, I don't think I can heal that.
Is that
Yeah,
a
you're
resting
damn right.
situation?
I don't think anyone would be able to unless you're a fucking deity.
We should probably tell the rest about what just happened. We might be in danger in a bit.
Honestly, I'm gonna. Can I? Do I know anything of what that guy said? Like, Can I do a history? Or like a roll on this?
You don't even need to
Or
roll.
is this just general knowledge?
Just from general knowledge, you knew that was the original boss's voice, your old time comrade's voice, from long ago when you were with the vultures, in which that was his actual voice, the leader. And from what you know, he never stepped down as leader while you were there. So knowing this amount of information, something happened within the span of you leaving to now.
All right. So something has come up to my attention that may be a problem to me. Now, don't ask anything about it because it's none of your business. It's a personal matter between both of you. You don't say shit about this. You don't say anything of what that Kenku just said.
Oh wow, this is
All right? Don't say
I won't
anything.
say a word.
Thank you. Now, excuse me. I have something to contemplate and/or fucking plan about. That may be an irrelevant problem to me in the future.
Hearing the explosion go off, 420, Gideon, and Cove race back outside. To
No.
where. Oh yeah, that's right. Sentry 420 is making blueprints.
Sentry is too busy into his plans to notice an explosion. Guaranteed.
And they come back outside to where the Kinku was, and which, from y'all's knowledge, the Kinku was perfectly fine. And now you see the Kinku is no longer alright. Because the Kinku is now dead with their head gone.
I do hope they do see a fucking furious want Taurus just walking by. Just a fucking mad looking rabbit.
They do,
What'd you
but they
do?
take more notice into the explosion than they do one Taurus.
I'd say.
Alright,
Is the body still like convulsing, by the way?
At this point, no. It is finished convulsing and is now just bleeding.
All right, then I take my staff down. I'm no longer holding it over its body.
Man.
I've been ready to bonk the whole time.
Man, listen.
That's why I got hit in the face by the explosion.
My guy, all I gotta say is that I tried to get information out of that. I got enough out of that just hearing those few sentences. I have enough information to under contemplate. Like that was the worst thing more than what Taurus was ready for. He was not expecting to hear that at all.
I will say now, the mission is complete. What needs to happen now is, from your understanding from the talk that has happened, with Kin, is that now that the job is done, you will have to report to Phoenix, the king of Hearthaven, to report your findings and report a job done.
Do I need to make a check to see how well I do the blueprints?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, what stat do you want me to use for it? Dexterity or intelligence or what?
I would say Dex or Int.
Okay, well, they're both the same. They're both +6 total with proficiency because I'm proficient in all this stuff.
Yeah. I'll let you roll for that. Nat 20.
Oh, nat 20, yeah.
You don't even, let's put it this way, you don't even take 5 minutes to figure out how this contraption works. From here on out...
Then I would be, then with it being that quick, I would be over at the explosion.
Actually, what you will be able to do now is, with that, you are able, in any doorway and or chest or anything similar to that, including windows, you will be...
I can work on turning it into a flamethrower.
For now, you will be able to actually replicate that trap.
I can set up that trap now, but the goal for Sentry will now to be working on turning that into a flamethrower, which means I also know which subclass of the artificer I am guaranteed going with, which will actually give me stats for a flamethrower.
There you go.
Man.
So this works perfectly for my character idea as well, so this is just perfect.
He's trying to make a flaming warfare.
Yes. So...
I'm making such a fun character.
So, you have now the option to go back over to Hearthaven and report your findings to Phoenix.
Can I search the Kenku's body to see if he has anything related to this shadow he was speaking of?
You go over to the Kinku's body. He doesn't really have anything on him. I'm not even gonna let you roll. You don't need a roll investigation for that. He's just practically wearing rags and a dagger.
Got it. Can I just take the dagger?
Add a dagger into your inventory.
Thank you. We'll be giving this to Sentry later.
So I'm gonna stumpily. So am I allowed to do something real quick? So I'm gonna go into here because I remember. I'm actually. You know what? No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm just gonna let myself be here. No, I don't need anything.
All right.
I'm thinking about it because my guy's not interested. He's just fucking absolutely frothing and confused and very much pondering what has happened between the time when he was there with the vultures and what has happened.
You got
now.
it. I will say, for right now, because that is a good, just for time's sake, and also because I will say there's actually nothing else to do here. Would you guys like to take a long rest, or would you like to go ahead and go over to Hearthaven?
Short rest and then to Hearthaven.
Short rest? Alrighty. So everyone take the short rest. And also, I will say this with happily. Go ahead and level up.
Hey, well, if we're rolling for hit points, I've just rolled max.
Yes, we are rolling for hit points, so everyone
Awesome,
do...
so I get max hit points. Oh, actually, no, because I need to roll a d10 because I'm taking a level in fighter now.
Everyone go ahead, roll for your HP, because we are doing that, and go ahead and reach the next level.
I rolled a 2 on the d10.
How do I do this?
So hang on, let me help out Alex
sorry.
a bit. So when you go to your character sheet, or when you have your character
Yeah.
sheet out, you will see. Let me go ahead and actually pull out my character sheet so I can give an example.
I'm assuming in character builder in the ability section.
That's
Right.
the wrong thing.
All
Hang on,
right, so let's see.
I'm being mentally challenged. Words are escaping me. Yeah, you'll go. You'll see like your character sheet, and then it says near the top right, it says go to builder. You'll click that, and it instantly takes you to your class, which is your level, and then you should be able to increase it from 1 to 2.
Okay.
Yes, and then
Question.
possible
Oh,
answer.
sorry, I didn't realize you were doing something else. I'll let you finish first.
And which, when I mean roll for hit dice, is instead of doing that, what you'll do is you'll essentially go to, what is it, HP modifier or override HP, and you'll just roll your hit dice, which is like the amount of dice need, or basically, it'll say hit dice, and then you'll roll that dice to
manage
increase.
HP, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, question.
Okay.
Can I use my DM's inspiration that I got a while ago to re-roll the 2 on my hit dice?
Go ahead for it.
Extra HP. Awesome.
So wait,
Definitely worth it. I got a 9 instead. I am more than happy with doing that. Brilliant. Thank you.
You got it.
Okay.
What's it, Alex?
I'm rolling the 10 dice, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you're
For
rolling
this.
the 1d10.
Okay.
7. Yep, so you'll increase your
21
health
hit
by 7.
points.
You'll increase
Would
your...
that be an HP modifier?
So I must. May I roll my dice on this board?
Oop.
So let's see. What do I get?
I will say if you've already rolled for your hit points, then you will not be able to reroll.
Okay, so I haven't.
You would just go to override HP, in which you'll add like whatever your fixed HP is plus that 7 essentially.
Fixed,
Alright,
okay.
so
I fucked up.
so whatever it gives me like beforehand.
And you add your constitution bonus. So if you've got a +1 in constitution, you add a +1. If you've got a +4, you add a +4, so on.
Yes.
So let's see. My constitution is a +2, but it says a fucking 4, which is weird.
Am I stupid?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I have 17 HP. I don't know why it says it adds a +4 for Constitution when I only have a +2.
Because it's +2. It's +2 from level 1, +2 from level 2.
Oh yeah, so then I've
So yeah, it automatically works it all out for you.
oh shit, so I have a 19. Nice. I get to add
Yeah.
spells too.
I have 21 armor class. My bonus action dagger now gets to add my dexterity on its damage, and I have second wind.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I've took a level in fighter.
Does
I can
anyone
figure that out later.
does anyone else have any questions or anything like that?
So the only thing I wrote for was for my max hit points, right? Anything else supposed to go for?
For your HP, so you'll add basically 7 or whatever you rolled to your current HP plus your Constitution modifier. Which let me actually help you out a little bit. Let me pull up. Yeah, let me see what your con is. Or it should be like the plus that's above like your base thing. Let me actually see so I can help you out a bit more.
I'm so sorry. This is so confusing to me.
No, it's completely fine. This is why we're here.
At some point between sessions, Rain, we're going to need to go through the setup for the trap so that I know the DC and everything, so I can know when to set it up and what to do with it.
So plus one
Yes.
con, plus a 7, and then plus my base HP.
Yeah, so you'll increase your base HP by 8. So it's a let's see, it's a wow, holy
6
shit.
is 19, and then 7.
Yeah, so you'll
Plus
add
yes.
so it'll be 8. So you'll be you said 16 plus
Be 27. No, am I doing math wrong here?
why does it say that you have 22 of 26? Oh yeah, that's basically what you got. So your max HP now will be 27.
So that's what I would type it on override HP.
Yes, you'll input 27 hit points onto override.
Okay, that's all.
Nice.
I'm not messing with anything else.
I see your DM, Zarya, and we can discuss it once when we are good to go on this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just because obviously, yeah, it's because I'm an artificer and I rolled an at 20 that there's just a few technical questions for rulings on it that I just want to ask, which might be easy to do after session.
Yeah. Everyone good as far as their level goes?
Yeah, I'm very experienced with the game. I know what I'm doing.
I know what I'm doing too.
Alright,
I have like I pick my spell very carefully.
Alright, so that's
Thank
2.
you.
Alex, are you good?
So let me say.
Yeah, I'm good now. Thank you.
JC, are you good?
Yep, I'm getting this set up now.
Got it. Gil, Kelly, you're good?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Dude, it
Alright,
feels
cool.
so good having half proficiencies on everything.
Alrighty,
Oh.
so after this 1 hour rest, everyone making sure that your gear is all set up, blueprints are being finalized or in the current works, you go ahead or sending messages to your creator or your god, you end up hitting the road, in which after 3.5 days travel, it is now a bright and early morning around 9 a.m. Once when you do arrive back to the city of Hearthaven. Let me go ahead and do this. Everyone get back into your comfy areas, of which we shall come back here. Welcome back to Area of Familiarity.
Is this just a blank space where we can just wander around a bit?
If you go over a little bit to the northwest area.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the bar.
Yeah.
Nah, you're fine.
Hey, I like the little blank space.
Hey, I can go sit in the corner.
My corner.
My corner! Sentry's corner!
Yes.
Comes.
So,
The thing is, he's got really cool new stuff to start working on and testing out. So, lots of fun, cool things.
yes. Alrighty. I'll go ahead and set a little bit of ambient music. Just so we're not listening to Deftones silence.
Also, quick good news thing for you, Rain. The flamethrower idea is probably going to be 2 or 3 levels away before we actually get to where that will be able to be implemented through the character design I'm going with.
Got it. Let me go ahead and actually pull out the right doc, because there is a doc that I need.
Gideon.
It's in Tasha's cauldron.
Got it.
My guy Gideon. You okay then?
It's the artillerist subclass for the artificer.
Got it. I'll look more into it. a bit later, when we're done with the session.
Yeah, I just thought I'd let you know what it is.
Yeah. You're probably gonna have to type it down for me because I will forget. I have a bad habit of that.
No problem.
So, along your journey back onto the Grey Road, you are greeted at the gates by 2 guards, in which they let you in, open, arms at the open. Or wait, arms at the ready, in case if there's anything else, that is dragging behind y'all, which they are not. You are meted with the, just early risings. It is now a weekend. It is Saturday now. And on this day, there's not going to be too much business going on into the business districts to your left, which has a few people, but they're not bustling like normal. But it is extremely busy over in the Heart Market area, with people just setting up their little area to get their fresh produce out on stands. Families having a wonderful time getting up early and being able to roam the market freely, experiencing some new flavors in their life, as well as experiencing some new unique stuff, such as toys for the kids, some new clothes and new designs for them, so on and so forth. And directly up ahead, you do see the Leoval Castle.
I guess that's where we're headed.
Yeah, straight to the castle. Supposedly, this is for the king, apparently.
The fuck is this for the king? When did this become part of him? When did this become...
The cat mentioned it was for the king.
What?
Yeah, the cat mentioned it was for the king, and I was promised gold.
He wasn't there when the cat told us that.
Montour slowly puts his fingers to the bridge of his nose between his eyes, and he starts rubbing it, and he's like, all right, so...
What, did no one pay attention to that bit?
No, he wasn't there when Taurus was.
I wasn't there. I'm like, so the cat knows the king. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
The cat bird knows the king.
Yes, and I was promised gold, which was going to be useful for the experiments that I do, so that I can create cool things.
He slowly looks at him and blinks, very slowly in disbelief.
You just look at this emotionless metal face.
And I just look at him and I'm like, the fuck did the cat promise you gold? It's a fucking cat. It's a cat that's a chicken, but he's not a cat. But the thing
It was a being from another land that
was a fair.
when I got a good look at it, because I do remember I rolled a decent insight through it all, and I've got an innate sense it's trustworthy.
As you arrive to the gate of the castle, these guards are a lot different than the ones that are guarding the outer city area. These guards that you see right in front of you wear a lion crest onto their chests, with intricate gold regalia, with nice thick steel armor that is plated, with some intricate gold raveling around it. They do not show their faces. Instead, they wear kind of like a black gaiter or a black mask underneath of their helmet. And their helmet, one of them wears their helmet that is in the shape of a lion's head, in which the eyes you can barely see. You can just see a faint glimmer or a reflection from the sun directly onto their eyes. And the other one wears more so a wolf-like skull as far as their helmet goes. but mostly they are identical. They stand there with halberds at the ready, and as soon as they see you, they immediately lift them up in unison as they allow you to move freely into the castle, as if expecting you.
The fuck
Sentry will look to everyone like, wait, what the fuck? We're expected, and we're just being allowed to walk into a castle.
How the fuck does the
I'm a
cat
little
have
sketched
access to
out.
this?
What on earth? I hope we're getting paid well for this, because you guys do the talking. I'm not good at this.
I'll just go
my
inside.
shop. I haven't opened my shop in 2 days.
Actually, 6
Well,
days. Actually, no,
I'm
7
gonna
days.
walk behind the group.
I haven't
I'll
opened
walk
my
behind the
shop in
group just to
7
keep us
days.
protected from the
I am
real.
losing pay.
Well, while they are talking, can I just like go inside? Because I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Follow along.
Cove
I'm gonna
leads
follow
the
too.
Cove leads the party inside as Tiara and Sentry for 20 are immediately following behind.
Flanking V shape.
You just see one Orius walking behind, like grabbing at his skull, realizing that he hasn't sold anything. It all just hit him when he came back. He hasn't sold anything in 7 days, and he's realizing his financial futures feel grim.
I thought this was a fantasy game. Why you gotta bring real life into this?
Goddamn.
Man, I have a shop to own, my guy. It's
You
the
all-
one thing
Honestly, no, I love it because that is just amazing character building. I love it. Absolutely. From me, but me to you, Remy, I love it.
Yeah, thank you, dude. He's just having he was just chilled out and everything. He's thought about the words that have been said to him and shit, and then he comes home to realize he's like, oh fuck, it's Saturday.
Yeah. Anyway,
As-
into the castle.
As you walk towards the entranceway of the castle, two similar guards are there, this time with different helmets as well. One representing the head of a serpent, and the other one representing the head of an owl. Same weaponry as well, both halberds at the ready. But this time, instead of in unison going straight up, they use the halberds almost as keys, and in unison shove the halberds into this door where two ginormous holes are at, almost in the shape of keys. As they turn the halberds into unison, and you hear two enormous, deep howling clicks as these doors slowly swing open. And as they slowly begin to open, they take their halberd back out of the locks, and also in unison, immediately raise them up.
How are they so fucking good at being synchronized? The fuck?
Well, we go in.
At that time.
Sentry's gonna try and have a look in the lock and see how it works on the way through.
Can I ask to see that again?
A Sentry would agree, especially and pay closer attention the second time.
Don't let him see it. Points at the robot. He'll figure out a way to get in.
I promise you, I'm not that sort of person.
I will
promise.
I will say, even if you tried to, you know what? For shits and giggles,
May I roll just a perception check to see what I could have seen anyway?
yeah, go ahead and do that. And as you try to attempt to talk to the guards,
nope.
Yeah, you take a look around at the lock itself, and
I don't have dark vision, too much shadow there for sure.
As you take a quick glance at the locks to see just how they work, you just hear a soft voice inside of the lock. And it just says, no peeking. As you see two red glowing eyes and just a low-bearing, snarling growl come from the lock itself. Just...
Oh no, I'm so sorry everyone. I get closer. This piques interest too much. This is where I've got to play to the character flaws. Sentry's gonna start trying to get
hang
closer.
on. As you try to proceed to look closer, the guard that has the serpent helmet on immediately flings his halberd directly at your face, as the other guard immediately rushes in right behind him, as they have one halberd pointing directly to the back of your neck and one halberd pointing directly in front of your chest.
Hey, lad. Hey.
Oh,
Calm down.
I got this. Sorry, and I will stop and look at them. Apologies, and I won't look again. Sorry. Intriguing. Interested in magic.
The one
Comes over. Oh.
the one in the owl mask immediately pursues forward to you as he has hands on his weapon. And yet he leans close into your ear and he whispers very faintly, "Try it again, and we will feed you to the lock." As he immediately goes and returns.
Would you be able to message me that, because I did not pick that up through the Discord call?
No, neither did I.
That's the point. That's the point.
Oh. Wait. Sweet nothings? Wait.
And they immediately return. They immediately, as soon as as he finishes whispering this, will go back to his post, but the serpent masked one shall continue where he is until you move away.
I was gonna say, I'll definitely just straight away turn around and just walk straight back with the party. Nothing of it.
When everyone is through, the door slowly but surely begins to close behind you. Inside this castle is a huge marble area made of marble and cobblestone. No gold, surprisingly, in this area, but more so silver. As you continue walking, you hear the echoing of the halls of probably hundreds of footsteps, with royal guards coming in and out of the area, some bickering from other people, from what you presume is only like mayors and things like that from other cities talking about and things like that. And as you continue along the long gaze of this hall, you see the king himself. With the king is two people. One of them, Gideon will recognize, is Dr. Leonis, giving the king what presumes to be a health checkup. And right beside them is a very odd person, very pale skin, brown hair, very raggedy looking, in which I will actually present to you a Hero Forge replica of what Phoenix looks like right now, in which if you go over to the live stream, you will actually see what Phoenix looks like.
Oh, dude, I think I know this guy. Oh, lovely. Oh no.
That's pretty dope.
He wears red and blue, like royalty colors. He is an all-white lion with a little bit of auburn into his tail. Wearing proudly purple eyes from his long lineage, and a somewhat a somewhat odd-shaped crown that isn't necessarily of a stagnant position. Almost as if he is not wearing it with pride, but more so just upholding the title. With
I'm
him...
gonna have to.
Pardon?
When I see the purple eyes, I'd have a royalty in purple eyes. I'd have to like burst out. Were you, or was your family given your position by the Fae?
As he hears this, he looks over and sees the whole party, and asks, Dr. Leonis, pardon me for a second. That I do not know. In fact, I know very little of my own lineage.
What Taurus raises his hand and looks at him, and he says, "Well, the way you hold yourself kind of looks like you're making sure you have to keep your appearance up, and I respect that."
One can only hold it but so long, my sweet innocent one. As he gets up and he stands, like, you think Tiaria is big? He stands an astonishing about 8 foot, just only a couple feet underneath of Tiaria. But
Good God, you are a large man. I didn't think someone could be that large, actually.
You also see the glowing of his rings. He has 9 rings in total, 5 on one hand, 4 on the other. Each one bearing different kinds of ornate jewels. As they glimmer through the sunlight that is appearing behind him. And he also picks up what you presume is his war club as well, that he uses as like a walking stick. As Dr. Leonis is nervously trying to tell Femix to sit back down, and Femix kind of raises his hand down a little bit, just so she can calm down, as he staggeredly walks towards you. What do we have here? Are you the ones Kin spoke of?
You're referring to the cat, right?
Cat, bird, man, beast. Here in Harhaven, we do not give titles.
Wait, this thing could be a man? Okay, so I look over to TR. Well, that's bullshit. That's something. Alright, first off, so that thing brought me to this group here. Second off, it's led to me having a relapse and understanding of my past, which is not something I'm very proud of. Third off, why am I here? I have no idea what's happening. I just so happen to just come on and see what's happening. I may have bitten more than I could have chewed from a simple merchant myself. But I would like answers if you may provide.
Because Kin brought you to the group. Under my orders specifically.
We're here for a reward, right?
Indeed.
I was from his gold.
Well,
Shut up, we'll have to go.
I will say this. A new plot of land, if you do say so, has recently opened up. Now that the Kinku are no longer with us. That plot of land now is currently unoccupied. So, what I could do for you is I could offer you the gold, or I can offer you land Which would you
I
choose?
actually have another request, if I may.
And what is that cove of Navatria?
Well, you see, I have a bit of issues with your fishermen just going around everywhere, you know, of this land. I don't know if you have like power to do stuff like this, but I honestly don't care. I want people to stop fishing near my city.
I'm presuming you are speaking of Lonis.
I don't know. I don't know where they came from. I just want them gone.
Well, I will say this.
Someone can simply stop.
I will say this, Cove of Navatria. Or is Cove more presumptuous, I presume? May I just call you Cove instead of your full title?
I mean, technically it's not a title, it's just the place I come from. We don't have last names, you know?
I will say this. Due to the miscommunication and the unforgiveness of the land up north from where Lonis is, we will try our best to stay away from Navatria as best as possible, in which we have been for at least a couple years now. I would say 3 years. Ever since the attack, or some kind of fishing accident, I presume, 4 years ago, with another...
Accident.
I do not know the specifics myself, for I have been withdrawn of that information. However, I could say with certainty that the water genasi that you are currently questioning if they are here or not, Kin will have the answer for that.
So, my ear is flipping. My butt horse's ear is flipping at this information. And he's like, alright, so you're just as clueless about things like that. That's interesting. That means you're still a person. Sir, let me ask, do you know of what happened when we were out there, sir? Because I frankly am quite astonished, frightened, and baffled and confused about what we saw out there. I saw a Kenku's head explode before my eyes when its eyes were green.
Explode, you say?
Yes, there was no head. Simply neck down, no head. No head from there. Confusing. The others just turned to like sand or something, which, frankly, if I had to say, does not seem like an appearing death.
Damn gray spell.
Right now, his hands are out.
The Femix's hands kind of close in, one of them forming a knuckle, and the other one is still clutching at his war club, as he just says under his breath, "Damn gray spell." That, unfortunately, I do not...
May I roll a perception to hear if I heard this?
Same, and then if I do history.
Jesus Christ, a lot of things going. Alright, tell you what, only one person roll, but roll with advantage.
Alright, got it. Alright, perception, right?
Yes. Dobby, you ask, what about Gray Spell?
Yeah, I would like to ask him if I heard it.
Let's see if the roll, goes through.
Alright, so we have a 16.
16? Everyone did hear this, in which Dobby asks, what about Gray Spell? And... I presume you are from there, Dobby. And
I will not say yes or no to that.
do not fear. Femix knows a lot of stuff, mostly because of our dear friend Ken. As he points over to the ragged person that he is quickly coming to, in which, for those who are curious about what Ken's appearance looks like, this is what he looks like in his human form. Very pale skin with blue cat-like eyes, with piercings on his ears, and not really much in terms of clothing. As he kind of just pops around behind Femix, in which he just kind of waves to you. And he just goes, "Ah, my good friends, how are you doing?"
Black Horse's head fucking whips up to her and it's like, you, cat, me, we need to talk.
Not right now, my dear friend. I'm more interested about the original people. How are you all doing today?
What? What do you mean?
I
It's
see.
costing me money. I had to go away from a week. I'm losing money out there.
Don't worry, I talked about the king to that, and don't worry, it will be on your next tax route. Now,
That's very generous of you, might I add, actually. I don't have anything to say against that, actually. I praise that very much highly. But explain to me what you are, because I've been trying to wrap my head around this for 7 days. And as far as I can come up with is you're like a blob of clay that can change into anything.
he puts a finger on his lips and then just winks at you and just says, "Hush, hush now, secrets must be kept." Now.
You're just like me. Alright.
Now.
One Taurus just puts his hand, just raises his hand and like...
Now. I do know that some of you may have questions.
I do.
Let us start with you, Tiaria. What would you wish to know?
I'm gonna say in Sylvan now. Why has my connection waned?
He says back in Sylvan, "Unfortunately, there are some circumstances that have happened in the Neverwood that apparently no one else can get to, which we are currently trying to regain back control of Neverwood. But our attempts have slightly waned."
At that point, all I'd say is that you have my support.
And
So,
you have
may I
mine
do
as
something?
well.
For my master.
While this is happening, am I allowed to cast comprehend languages? Like, steadily? Because, I'm just hearing this and I don't really understand. So,
As you try to cast the spell, Kin just, in the middle of talking to Tiaria, immediately whips his head at you, and his eyes grow from that blue color to an immediate red. And as you look into his eyes and you look right around his shoulder, you just see just a ghastly figure claw at his shoulders and just stare at you, just kind of twitching around as...
Hey, I didn't mean anything. Hey, I just wanted to know what was happening, alright? I don't understand what's happening, alright? I'm just curious. But I understand, not my business. Will keep to myself, alright? God, I whisper in my breath. God, that would have fucked up that moment was, alright? He's way much better than that. I think he was, alright?
Ken just kind of gently holds and pats your hand a little bit, Tiaria, as to show sympathy. sympathetic support, if you would. As he moves along the line, next would be Dobby. He goes over to Dobby and speaks in the Dragonborn tongue. And what would you wish to know about my scaly friend?
I would like to know about that king. I'm great. What was the city name again?
Ah,
Graceville.
Darth. What would you wish to know more about?
If he has any connection with the camp.
Unfortunately, even I don't know. Darth keeps a very close circle around him that, even with my own knowledge and perceptiveness, unfortunately, I don't even know.
But let me ask, do I have the fringe not being able to understand this right now?
Hold your tongue,
Because-
one Taurus. You will get your turn.
He doesn't understand Young Boy. But anyway, can I have a name of any of these members he might be connected to? I would like to pay him a visit.
That will take me some time. Come back to me in a few days' time and I can see what I got for you.
Thank you. I will do that.
He bows his head to Dobby, as to show that he will keep his promise. As he then goes over to Gideon and speaks. Actually, I need to pull up. Technical difficulties. Give me 1 moment.
You want some sushi?
I would actually love some sushi.
Don't forget the wasabi.
I won't. But fuck off.
Hey, you still gonna do you still gonna see you had to do 2 in total, you got 1 more to do.
Yeah, wait.
I know.
What are you waiting for? It's been 2 hours.
Alright,
Alright, well-
so he then speaks in the infernal tongue to Gideon. What do you wish to know, comrade of arms?
He's just gonna reply in calm, and he's gonna say nothing. I know my place.
And that is the place where gods do not heed your call. This is no place for you. As he kind of hands you his hand to shake.
Okay, I shake it.
You shake hands as he kind of nods his head. And as he walks behind you to greet the other members, he puts a sympathetic hand on your shoulder as he walks away. And then he goes over to Sentry 420. And he just speaks in common to you, Sentry. Any questions you might have for me? Sentry?
Sorry, yeah, pardon.
Do you have any questions for Ken?
Oh, bollocks. Let me find the correct page of my notes.
If you need a second, I can move on, and we can come back to you.
I'll come back in a second.
He looks over at Cove in the same tongue that the people in Navatria use. He speaks in that tongue, and he immediately knows what you're going to ask, or at least know what you're curious about. And he goes, Alkai is still alive. His whereabouts, however, are unknown as of now. But I can say with certainty he is still alive.
What, you don't know where he is? I thought you knew everything.
Unfortunately, I have lost the connection with him. Normally, I would be able to use magic to be able to get a hold of quite a few people if they are magically inept. But unfortunately, his connection ended in the woods of Wolfland.
What about the rest of my people that got taken?
He just bows his head down and kind of just shakes his head no, as if to say he's sorry, but they're dead.
People who are looking at me can see that Cove is like tearing up a little bit, and she like grabs her symbol and starts like quietly praying.
Wait, Kat, what'd you say to her? What's happening? Why is she crying? Something happened?
Arya, are you good now?
Taurus is concerned at the moment now. We're seeing her cry. You make a lady cry, that's not a good sign, man. That is quite a ungentlemanlike thing to do. Unless it's sentimentally correct. Just saying something that's correct or facts.
He then finally goes over to Juan Taurus and asks,
I was gonna say I did have something.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, so Sentry would ask, am I the only one of my kind?
That
Because
is...
from how everyone else looks at him, he's confused.
As far as working, or not working?
Sentient.
Sentient? As far as I'm aware of. Yes and no. It's a hard thing to discuss, if I will. Because they are both human, or not necessarily human, but part man, part machine. They still have the soul and the magic of one, but has the machine like you.
Where can I find more answers?
That would be in Greyspell. And the only person that would even remotely know would be the one who created you. Does this answer your question?
It doesn't.
Sometimes...
I just need to work on machinery. And he goes and just sits himself in the corner, pulls out a couple of blueprints and just starts tinkering with just plans, shuts off from the rest of everyone.
Sometimes some questions only lead to more. And Juan Taurus, I believe you have quite a few questions, but I'll only permit you to answer one like I've done with the others.
Alright. First off, what happened while I was gone? And you know what I'm talking about. I eyeball him very, very sternly and seriously.
In this in common?
What happened? I'm talking to him, yeah, in common. Because because I did things. I thought I was done with this.
And yet, here you are.
Yeah. Funny thing. I'll start talking. Because I've had a few things to think about. And all I've come up with is more questions. Who the fuck is leading the vultures? Because I thought I had killed a lot of them. Enough to be fine. Apparently, the Kenku knew him. So, what's happening?
A new one is in charge. But unfortunately, with my knowledge and with what I can tell, I cannot read the new person that is in charge. Every time I do, it's a dark, black, and green energy sprawling from him. And he normally hides his face.
So, let me ask. How does he... I know a lot of people in there. I kill a lot of the people I know in there. So, how does he hold himself? How does he approach? How does he maneuver himself?
Unfortunately, I don't know. Like I said, I cannot see what his intentions are. I don't even know if he is even human or man or anything like that.
So, one chorus walks a foot closer, like his face is in his face at this moment, and he's like, "Thank you for the information. That didn't solve much of my answers. I'll be waiting for a bit." Taurus just turns as he just walks away. Like he is currently like he has like this is an aura of like he's about to kill someone. And he just walks away. I think everyone in the room can sense that. He's fucking he was about to fucking do something because he was angry.
Well, I do perceive that my part of the deal is done. As he looks over to Femix, in which Femix is currently trying to support himself still with his warhammer. As
Sentry's gonna quickly look up towards the king. And like, instead of land, is there any chance of property and a gold reward? Meet in the middle.
Unfortunately, no. Because if I do give land and also gold, then that just causes some complications in the matter.
I was more thinking maybe a place, maybe in the town we can permanently call our own and do what we need to in instead.
Unfortunately, there is no such place inside of the town. As of yet.
I think I have a solution for that.
Now, what would that be?
My God.
Now, One Taurus, you know better than I that you cannot live inside of your own business.
Understandably so, yes. But after hours, we're usually closed. After everyone's done shopping during the day, I'm closed. At that time, free game. I barely lived in there. Hell, that place is barely habitable for people, but hey, it can work.
Regardless, the thing still stands. Is that you rather receive property or the gold? And I'll even throw in a bonus for you. Due to the fact that you managed to take out the Kinku so easily and so swiftly, if you do take the property...
It wasn't easy.
If...
Actually, he just shanked everyone, weirdly enough. I don't know how he's good at it. But still,
If
You continue.
if you get the property, I might have another job for you that will pay double of what I was thinking.
I love the property.
What's the catch?
And then the second job would then at least give us enough to build property on that land.
What is the catch? There's usually a catch to these things.
What is the job? That is the catch. The catch is the job. What is said job?
Well, that is only for you to find out once when you accept.
No. Not accepting it as rewarded.
How much are we getting though?
Yeah.
If you get the gold right now without the house, you'll be receiving 1,200 gold split apart equally. If
Damn.
you do get this job and you do get it with the property, you will be receiving 2,400 for the base job alone, not including any other perks or anything like that you will have at your disposal.
So we can take property on this one and then 24k split between us for the second job.
That's
Like the new job.
idea.
That is a very good idea. That would be brilliant, especially for the build I'm going with.
Honestly, I'm thinking of property in the long term because property can mean.
That's what I'm saying. We can definitely do the property first and then do it, depending on this second job.
If I am able to, if at some point we do get downtime, I am absolutely gonna try and fucking sell shit for us. I will have to like make a stock. Like I'm gonna.
I can help craft little bits and trinkets and stuff for you to sell.
That would be lovely.
Is there water close by to the property?
Let me.
Honestly,
Was there water near that camp that we were at?
You can check.
I could actually check the map for you right now. Give me 2 seconds.
Because obviously that's the land that we're being given.
honestly,
Yes.
if you're talking about water near my property, as wherever you have to go, you gotta go about 3 blocks to go to the nearest fountain.
We're talking about the property we're getting from the king.
Yes, the closest, you're actually near a body of water. If we look over at the map of All Vale, where the map is, you have Hardhaven right here. The Kinku camp will actually be right here. So you will actually only be maybe 15 minutes away from a huge body of water.
Oh, that's not too bad at all.
Yeah.
What I want.
I want to be near the Wolfland Forest too, so I want
Hell yes, then.
the land.
The problem is, I need to go.
definitely take the land.
I need to go near the mountains to go where I need to go home.
Well, we can just do a variety of missions going back and forth towards each of the places we need to go to just
Absolutely.
build up this place.
Absolutely.
We just now we've got a place as a team to just build up.
No one goes in my home unless I allow them. I don't trust many of you.
No, what about the new land? We've got as a group
We're
of
talking about the
use
land,
it
right?
to build up together.
Oh yeah, sure. Only thing my guy's gonna do is pretty much just supply you guys with materials if you can get a good price on them.
Yeah, we're only really focused on the current deal in the land offered by the king right now.
Honestly, the new deal with the land and shit, I gotta my guy, holy shit, okay, so I'm thinking about this. This is interesting. Fine.
The land's definitely a good deal in the long run. We can do a lot with our own bit of the land.
Also, fun fact, it's between multiple places. That's like away from Hearthaven, so it's between the slopes. Greyspell.
Yeah, it's a few days travel to Hearthaven and stuff, so...
Yeah, so, but
Oh,
we're close.
should we ask for one more? Should we see if we can try and get one more thing? And this would be a smart choice: a horse and wagon.
Actually, I was thinking we could do like a horse and a wagon, or we could do a fucking you know when there's travel wagons, right?
Thank you for the bet, Ray.
With the
How you doing
overhead
there?
coat and shit, where it's like you can put your
Gypsy wagon.
gypsy wagon. We can ask for one. We can ask if we can acquire one for faster travels, and if they could do a workhorse, because overall they probably would have more stamina.
Just so that we can transport, because it is a bit of a distance.
Yes, but overall, yeah. So some of us, I would say.
If this comes down to a check, I am definitely using this conversation as the help action for whoever else is taking the check.
Yes, let's put it this way. Please roll for persuasion.
Oh, I'll do that shit. Oh, that's my.
With advantage from my helping. Hell yeah.
Oh, hey, 7 to persuasion? That is a 16. That is a 23. So I roll it again. See if I get any better. 23 is the best.
23 is the best. Alright, so the king looks and ponders about this. And after a moment, he looks back at the group and he just says, I'm sorry I cannot supply you with one of free. However, what I can do is talk to the stables men and see if I can work out a deal where you will receive a discount of 75% off for the horse and wagon.
That's a solid deal. That's a good meet in the middle.
So Montoris is still pissed. He's like, all right, sure, whatever. That can work. Well, thank you for the deal and everything. Horse would be kind of nice, honestly, since I'm traveling with these band of guys here. Like, he gestures with his thumb, like he's just like, he the way he gestures is like, he barely knows these people. He's like, it's like total strangers except for Tiara, which he's like in Gideon, and he's just like, these guys. I'm like, but yeah, that can work, honestly. It's cheap. That's probably the best deal I could have gotten out of this with the horse. I haven't thought about getting a horse, but until now, that I have a lot of people to go with will make things faster.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm not getting any younger. I'm not getting any younger, so might as well make it go faster.
As the king realizes kind of like he realizes his own health issues right now as they catch up to him, he kind of staggers a little bit as you see his walking stick or his hammer that he's using as a walking stick to kind of as it shakes a little bit as the Dr. Leonis quickly rushes forward and just whispers to Femix something before
I'm gonna go up there and hold him. I'm like, oh, whoa, big man, calm down. Are you sick or something?
That is when you see two females that you have never seen before come up. One with crossbow at the ready and one with rapier at the ready. As the one with the crossbow aims it directly at y'all, as he helps up the king, and the other one with the rapier has it immediately against your throat, Montoris.
Hey, listen. I know I am pretty good looking, but you don't need to do that, alright? I'm taken. Gestures with his ring at her.
In a completely different tongue, you just see their mouth kind of just open, and you notice just no vocal or like no voice is coming from this mouth, but you hear inside of your own mind just immediately that sends shivers down your spine.
Ugh. Oh, hey, stop doing that.
Silence your tongue, or else I will silence it for you.
Kind of hard to do that, but I meant no harm for him, alright? He doesn't seem well.
As you look at them, you notice that they are twins. They are both human-like, and but they have a shade of green around their skin, and their hair is definitely almost like leafy green. One of them wearing more so fall colors, as if they were like a dark, like almost like a leather color, whereas the other one is embracing more so their leafy side with a little bit of a mossy green outfit. The one with the rapier wearing the mossy green, where the one with the crossbow is more so red. the twining of the crossbow burns a bright red, almost flame-like, as the finger on the trigger is itching to be shot at.
Sorry, I was gonna let you continue.
As the one with the rapier looks at the one with the crossbow, as the one with the crossbow puts their weapon down, and starts helping the king back to their throne.
May I also help?
No.
Because the one is still aiming his sword at me, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna look at her and I'm like, you know, I'm just a simple rabbit folk, but, you know, it's not nice to put a sword to someone's throat. You know, it's trying to be a kind gesture to Majesty here, because he does not look well. And he can speak as well. He didn't say anything about me not doing anything wrong.
That is none of your concern, Hare.
Well, it may not be my concern, but I'm just saying. Trying to be a good Samaritan here. He takes a step away from the rapier and just looks over both his hands up. Just like, I haven't done anything wrong.
I want you to make a dex save.
Yeah, buggy slash. Good shit.
Hey, listen, I'm peeing one tourist to a T, dude. This is not his first rodeo.
I'll tell you what. This is going to be the very first important box roll.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
You better go high.
Oh.
I want you to make a dex saving throw, and I need you to beat.
Oh, 19 plus 3. So
That's a 21, and this is
22.
22. Okay, that definitely, I wouldn't say definitely, but it's just good enough. Yeah, you just dodged a bullet on this one, I will say. As you take even the slightest step away, you feel the graze of a rapier at lightning speed immediately cut some of the fur off of your cheek, but doesn't leave a scratch, as it looks like the rapier in her stance didn't move an inch.
whoa, that was very quick. Okay, so
Tree is very
I want you to move a singular step. All right. So I learned you're on a trigger more so than anyone I have met.
I would like to whisper
I'm going to comply.
Um,
I was having a little bit of fun, you know, trying to be nice, presumptuous, you know, kind and gesturous. I was going to take a nice step away, calm the
I
situation.
believe speaking will not aid you in any point of
I
this.
should do anything. So, I'm just going to stand here.
Tiaria, you look at this person with the rapier as they look at you, as their eyes change color their pupils change color from a black to a searing white. As they kind of inspect you, and in Sylvan, they ask, "You are Fae as well?" Like Ken.
Then I'm just going to use the term. I can't think of the exact word terminology, but basically, mistress or creator, master, and then is your connection stable? Basically, without actually asking anything about their anything like that, just is their connection to it.
Remy, I'm just gonna ask this once. Can you please stop interrupting so I can actually hear JC, please?
I apologize. guys. This is my bad.
Can you repeat that, please, Stacy?
I'm just asking if they have connection to their master, basically, or their creator, if they have a creator.
No, we do not have access to what you call a creator. Nor were we born like this. But we do know some information. As the one with the rapier kind of slowly puts their hand up, and you see around them a leaf-like glow and circle goes around them, as in their hand that they had out, a slow flower, like a gently blooming flower, comes up, as it's very gorgeous and pink. Almost like a tulip, but this tulip actually ends up blooming outwards, and as the petals gently fall to the ground, as she then, with one singular stroke of the rapier, which no one sees at all, just slices through the stem of it as she catches it mid-flight and proceeds to give it to you as an offering.
If I see them as giving it as an offering, then all I would do is climb my staff onto the ground. Having just leveled up, this works out perfectly, and the spores all that are surrounding me would become visible, all gathering around my staff, forming a few solitary purple and green spotted mushrooms. I would offer one back to them.
As she sees this, she gently smiles as Kin is still presidentially there. Just you just hear him clapping in the background like a madman, just saying, "Oh boy, this is the first time Yol has actually smiled." As soon as he says that, Tor, who we originally thought was with the king, you notice that the king is back at the throne as Tor comes from behind the group itself, as if no one's seen, just immediately coming from the group itself, or behind the group itself. You just hear a voice saying, "Calm down, Kin. We've had enough of your antics today." As everyone looks behind and sees Tor with crossbow at the ready, now just hanging by her side.
The funny thing to me there is I would have noticed the approach and not even flinched at it because I feel no threat in this.
So, let me ask. Can I say something to Ken? I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, "Can you fucking do something about this, please?" Because she just about fucking put a skewer through me, and she's smiling, and please help, because this is the first time I'm gonna ask for help, and the only time I'm probably gonna ask for help. I can't move an inch.
You were the dumbass who tried to approach the king.
Stop, please.
Oh, that's just Yol and Tor. They're doing what they do best, just protecting their father.
I didn't mean nothing. I was trying to be fun, nice. You know what Tor is, nice guy. People know me. I'm usually likable.
The second he says that the king is their father, I would at that point, for the first time in this interaction, then go down to my knees and just offer thanks to the king for raising these fae.
Also, let me ask. Since what Taurus is a Harrigan, isn't he considered Fae?
It would say in your character sheet, when you were looking at the race, if they were considered fae.
Yeah, in the race-wise, they're Fae. Rabbit folk are Fae,
Well,
but
technically,
he's not raised,
but
or he wasn't
really long time ago, so they don't grow up in the Feywild anymore.
I was going to say also, why did the Fae works all stewarthy so that you guys could be from completely different time zones in the Fae and still have lined up in the same point in time in this world. So even if you were, there is also minimal chance that you guys would have known anything of each other at all anyway.
So what I'm getting at is one Taurus won't even know he's Fae, pretty much.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I will say, JC, that both Yol and Tor are actually not Fae.
Their green hair reminds me of my creator, and with them referring to me as Fae, or saying Fae as well, that was all I needed to believe in them. That they are or not, it doesn't matter.
So I gotta ask, what would have happened if I failed that skill check?
Because they have the hair of my creator, and the king has the eyes of my creator. If they call me a Fae as well, then yeah, they're Fae. Deal.
Would you like to? All right, just for shits and giggles, one Taurus. Would you like to know how much damage that you would have received from that hit?
Yes.
All right, hang on. Let me see.
What do you have your sister die?
I think I might have. Let me. I got the hell of a
That
you
is.
my meteors.
What?
Holy shit! I dodged that. Hey, everyone cannot say one Taurus is not cool. You cannot say he's not cool there now. So yeah. Hey, I'm very happy that was a 4. Yes. I'm very poor rabbit would have died. Actually, I think I would have actually barely fucking lived. Actually, because it would have been barely below my max HP because I just leveled up. So yeah. Okay. Cool. That's interesting. So
there is no way you've got above 32 hit points at level 2.
No, I mean because I'm down. And then doesn't it subtract to like the majority of it? Like, so it has to be.
Oh, yeah, no, it wouldn't be insta-kill. It'd just be knocked unconscious immediately.
Dude, one Taurus is cocky, and his mannerisms of trying to be friendly and shit got him in very big trouble, is what he's learning.
With that, add 12.
Add 12 to like 32? Oh yeah, I would have been dead. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, I would have been dead. Okay, so yeah, I would have literally been the fucking actual first kill of the game.
Beheaded. It would have just been a straight beheading with a rapier.
Yes. Like I did that fucking one Kenku. Okay, so yeah, one Taurus is gonna look at her and he's gonna say, hey, so no hard feelings, right?
She looks at you and then looks right by your shoulder as right behind you is Tor with their crossbow just kind of teasingly pointed at you.
I'm gonna look at her direction. I'm gonna be like, you're very funny, you know that.
I mean, to be fair, this is our version of fun. Isn't that right, Tor? And Tor just is right behind you still and just says, without a doubt, we take and get it whenever we can, because we typically don't go out. As you see Tor kind of takes the crossbow out from your back, puts it on her shoulder, and then within a blink of an eye, all you see is an autumn leaf fall from where Tor was, and Tor is right beside Yol when you turn back around.
You know, if you don't have a lot of time out, so I'm not gonna take a step. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna tell her, am I allowed to stand up straight without being skewered? Is that something I'm allowed to do? Because I thought I was about to die just now. I had one of those moments.
Let's put it this way. We take our job very seriously. You think that...
I can tell. So, while I'm standing here, let me ask. So, do you want to play chess or something? You know, take the tension away, you know, just because I'm standing here, you know? Like, I have a set in my backpack, you know? Gestures to his back with his thumb.
I'll play you at some point.
Not right now.
We'd rather play our own games, thank you very much.
Okay.
Can I say something to them?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna look over to them and I'm gonna be like, you know, I like you guys. You got no bullshit going on. Ghost name. Hope you guys are doing well.
Tor, as soon as hearing this, just their eyes kind of glisten as they go in for a high five.
So I'm gonna look at them and I'm gonna say, I also like them. They're very, very cool. At the same time, they have also stricken a certain godlike fear into me that I have never felt before. But at the same time, not had such a thrill of adrenaline before. So I point towards, I forget, who's the one with the rapier, actually?
That
I'm
is...
gonna use my druidcraft to just make a smell of a corpse that had been rotting for a week in the sun and inside the rabid folks' nose to get them to decide to quiet down.
So, hey, let me ask. So, I'm gonna say, so who's the one with the rapier?
that is, Yol.
Yol. So I look at Yol and I say, you're cool. I like you. I would like to talk to you sometime more. Because you're the first person to truly make me feel young again.
I would like to tell you all if I can have a spar match.
Oh, you wanna...
I smell the corpse in my nose.
Oh, wait, the Dragonborn wants to spar with me. Ooh.
Me too. Look,
And Gideon.
Yeah, I'm that
So,
Sentry's just gonna look at them all and go, well, if you're doing that, I'm gonna go get fixed up. And he's gonna disappear and start going towards Vectors.
So one horse is still standing still with his arms to like as if he still just dodged. He's still holding that position. Like this entire fucking time, because is the rapier still pointed at him, right?
Oh no, Yol is over at Tiaria.
Oh wait, she teleports. So you just see what Taurus look like 1,000 pounds had just come off of him as he stands straight, and he looks at Tiara with help me eyes.
Yol being extremely excited about the duel, Tor ends up putting a hand on her shoulder as she goes in a just no language at all, just complete eye communication as they both look at Femix, as Femix is just looking with somewhat displeased eyes as everyone turns around to see Yol and Tor. They immediately both disappear in a blink of an eye. One of them once again with the autumn leaf, and one of them this time with a rose petal. As you turn back over to Femix, and both of them are now kneeled down in front of the king. As Femix kind of whispers stuff into their ears before, once again, within a blink of an eye, they are both gone again. This time nowhere to be seen.
So they have left an ever impressive, they've left a very big impression on one Taurus. So, as the guy he seems like a playboy, but he is not. He tried to so from what he's gathered from this is, don't fucking step near the king. Period. He's unless he approaches me.
Common fucking sense.
Yes.
No, my guy was trying to be a good Samaritan.
Let's put it this way. Even in old times, you do not approach the king shall approach you. If you approach the king unannounced, you will be met with brute force.
I did hey,
Dobby, you like to ask King Femix a question. What is your question?
I would like to ask if I can swap up my reward for this next mission. If I may be able to have a duel with Yon. That's my reward instead of money.
No, we need the money.
No. See, this is my part of the money. So my fraction will be taken out.
So are you asking instead of money, you want to take a duel with my daughter?
Yes.
The one who has trained all of my guards.
Yes, I would like to have a spar match to maybe pick up a couple skills here and two.
At that point, one Taurus at the same time is like, I would also like to. I've had a lot of fun with that one encounter. She almost took my head off, but at the same time, I feel
Silence, one Taurus.
Alright.
I see that you are a very talkative one, and I would like to hear from your companions for once. Unless if you want to meet my wrath.
One Taurus just looks at him with his hand, and it looks like he's trying to like open and close it, and he just closes it, and he's like shakes his head.
Good. Now, Dobby. I will even raise the stakes. If you complete the job, you will still get the gold. I will let you spar my daughter, and if you somehow miraculously survive the onslaught, I will even accept a proposal of marriage.
Oh, okay.
Better than she is yours.
See, I would take that proposal, but my heart already belongs to somebody else.
I'll marry them.
I don't have romantic interest.
And until I finish this quest I'm on for, then I would take your beautiful daughter, Tane, in marriage.
I just want to be able to make myself a workshop to work in.
If you would like, Sentry, what I can do for you is I can reach out to some contacts to other areas, specifically Greyspell, to see if we can get you some components to work on a more modified version of a workshop that will have all new bells and whistles that you could even customize yourself.
That would be amazing.
As for you, Tiaria, I noticed that you mostly need sunlight. Do not worry, for if you would like to, once when the job is complete, we can work on arrangements as to getting you a greenhouse. So that way, even during the wet days that this land brings, you can still be dry and still in the sun. We will even have a modified light for you, so you are able to get sunlight even on the darkest of nights.
I now take a second knee at that.
Yeah, Sentry would have risen from being cross-legged to on one knee after all of this, for sure.
Cove. I will see about working on an agreement with Adonis, so that way we can at least stop the endangerment of Navatria.
I would appreciate that.
You have my word.
So, let me ask, are we done with that part? Real quick. Because he has a question for the king, if that is okay.
One Taurus. What is your question?
I want to know what's more happening in my previous crew. If you could find anything about them.
I believe Kin is all ready to work with that.
Then my interjection is no longer necessary. I step down. So if I'm correct, I'm on the steps, right?
Yes.
I step down, I step back, and I I do a bow, like a nice bow, and I say, "Thank you for your services, my good sir. I will be back at some point whenever you allow me. Just not close enough to have that happen."
Sentry is going to look up and well, seeing as it seems like we're taking this job, what is it? And he'll bring out a notepad and pen and start taking notes on what the actual job is. Seems we've already been given our rewards of what we're going to actually getting for doing this second job. We now need details on the job.
So I'm assuming you are taking the new land. Is that correct?
Yes.
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 Excellent. You do not need a deed for this land, for this is now your own, fully unpaid. So congratulations. As
Excellent.
for the job I have for you, this one is going to be quite a weird one, for it is a but more personal matter. I need you to go over to Wildkeep. There they have a prisoner. That prisoner has information about what is exactly going on with what happened at Crowstrand and Dockmore. They also have some information as well, possibly about some suspicion that I have. And if my suspicion is correct, Hearthaven will be going to war with Greyspell.
And what is your suspicion, just so that we know what we're looking for specifically?
That Greyspell has been tinkering with elements beyond the grave. And that Greyspell has been lurking with a very dark force. One that has destroyed Darkmoor.
Okay.
I don't
Then
know.
how are you going to be able to get me materials from there if you go to war with them?
It is simple. We will take what is necessary and reserve what is necessary. There is one place that will be left untouched in Greyspell, due to it being one that would essentially break the laws of the land. We will not touch the historic museum that is in Greyspell.
I'm gonna actually no wait. So at hearing that, my guy just looks at him and is like he just eyeballs him upon saying the museum with extreme peak curiosity, and that's it.
The museum is the only one that we will not touch. The castle we will try to keep intact. The Haven of Arcane, if they do meddle in such affairs, Darth will be brought to punishment. But we will try to keep the city intact.
Sentry's eyes seem to brighten against his own will at that.
You mean Darth Gungear, correct?
Correct.
I need to also ask you a favor, good king. Could you make it so no one looks into me when we go on a boat? Because that might be a problem.
That is not my business, unfortunately.
I know that. So I'm going to have to deal with that myself. Alright, got it. But before you go to war immediately, or whenever you do, could you at least have a diplomatic talk about them? Possibly seeing if you could resolve this without conflict. Because all I've learned in my life is the more you fight, the worse it gets.
We have
Unless they deserve it.
It kind of sounds like you're talking down to the king at this point, honestly.
I'm just talking about my experiences.
He's during hearing this, he slams his club where a crater forms right beside as he raises his voice. You dare talk about diplomatic talks to a king?
We are just hired swords, hired things.
Yeah.
We will take the job with this. We are just there to achieve an item. We are not there to deal with what's after it. We will take that with our rewards and we will leave you be.
I apologize. I won't speak anymore. I take a bow and I take a knee and I look at him and I just look down, trying to show that I did not mean anything by it.
Before you even do that, he kind of grabs you with his left hand, by the scruff of your shirt, as he raises you to eye level, so you are now 6 feet up. As he stares you down with his eyes, and as he does, he inches closer to you, and he whispers in your ear, "If I hear you talk down to me like a peasant again, there are far worse fates than death in this land that I and my daughters have foreseen. I will make sure that your death will not be merciful."
My eyes are very much at attention, and I take extensive notes of this. And I whisper back to him and says, I will make sure not to do that. I will try to respect you as much as I can. I apologize on the sincerest of the Vanderbilt family. I will do my best to reconcile the mistake I have done.
Make sure of that. As he kind of hangs you up a little bit, as he extends his arm fully to figure out exactly what to do with you before he ends up dropping you from that height. No damage will be taken. You land somewhat on your feet and knees, but you take a quick look up as he picks up his club and just points at you. Make sure you do not forget that.
I look at him and I say, yes, sir, I apologize. I will not forget ever.
Good. Now, the rest of you. If you have more information or require more information about this job, please talk to my advisor. My advisor will only respond to a very specific note in which he will be able to be found at the Speakeasy Keep. For now, you may have your leave. As he takes his club and puts it back at his side, and he's basically almost lays down in his chair and at his throne as Dr. Leonis starts taking vitals and things like that and starts talking to the king.
I stand up.
Your wounds on the king?
No, because you are not going to be able to get anywhere near him to touch him.
No, but if I
You're instantly gonna get knocked down.
Just a question.
I feel like this is something beyond.
Sentry, is there anyone other than the king there that Sentry can talk to that wouldn't start a commotion?
Alright, just hang on, one at a time. So, Arya, because I heard, excuse me.
Yeah.
Cove.
So is oh.
I heard Cove's voice first. Cove, what were you asking?
Just asking if he's like a normal sick, could I like help him out with like cure wounds or something? But that's
Uh,
probably not the case.
I want you to roll for medicine.
Oh god, okay. Um, yeah, it's a 13.
13. You look at his condition, and you notice the doctor. The doctor has no magic in terms of cure wounds goes, or any of that matter. And even if they did, they would more have likely tried it. But this goes way beyond what your medicinal knowledge goes.
Okay.
Juan Torres is on the very thin ice of accidentally misspeaking in to the king. I, I feel
To
so bad.
answer your question, Sentry,
Yeah, is there anyone I can talk to that wouldn't start, that it wouldn't cause a problem, just someone that I can go and talk to for something else?
around you, from what you could tell, the only people around are the armed royal guards, each one bearing different masks, and halberds, with short swords, this time with short swords right beside them, and also some of them with daggers behind their backs, others with crossbows and bows and arrows with bolts and arrows
I just want to
around
go
their
up to
back.
one of those and request for the piece of paper that we were just mentioned by the king that will get us in touch with that person.
The guard that you go to is wearing
If you could just put a word in and get it sent to us at the speakeasy, as that's where we've been stopping anyway.
the guard that ends up happening to wear more of a it's more of like a rabbit mask than anything, and it's not really a helmet, more so than like a porcelain mask. Ends up taking their mask off, and it reveals to be not a kinku, but like a much larger bird. As they look you over, and they just go, my, what do we have here?
Yes, I'm a metal person. I'm used to this. Don't worry. The king has just mentioned to us about someone who we'll find in the speakeasy, an advisor that we can talk to for any information that we need. That apparently we need a slip with a certain image to find. I was just wondering if we can get that image, please.
Oh, of course. Here, let me help you out. As
Thank you very much.
instead of pulling out a paper and ink with writing, they take a paper and kind of does a tapping and knocking sound with it. As then they hand it back to you, and they just go, "Here you go."
Awesome. I take it and I just stick it in my pocket and like, thank you very much, sir. I bid you adieu, and then we'll look at the rest party. Right, let's go whilst we're still alive, and before this one says anything else they shouldn't say, and walks out.
Juan Torres follows and talks to Chigara as he says that.
Well, I was gonna say I will be basically planting, like just putting my face to the ground before heading out, just with your permission, and standing up to head out.
Yes, and Tiaria, right before you leave, you turn around and you see Yol, as Yol kind of just winks at you and smiles.
The Yol would notice that I've already transplanted the flower onto the staff. I've been using Druidcraft to do that this whole time.
Yep, that's why she's smiling and winking at you.
Okay.
As you, does the rest of the party follow, or is there anything else you would like to do?
Oh, just on the way out.
I just want to do something with Vector.
Hang on, let Gideon talk real quick. Gideon?
Yeah, just on the way out, just real quick. On the way out, I just want to like look at the guards and see like from looking at them, can I tell how well trained they are? Just like, and if they like their job.
I
Yeah,
want
that's
you
how
to
well
make
trained they
I
are.
want you to make a perception check.
This would be more insight.
That's what we should.
Either or. How about that?
Either
Perception
way,
or insight?
it's like the same. Let's see here.
Excuse me.
That's a +3, so 11.
11. You can't necessarily tell because they are all wearing heavy armor, and on top of that, each one of them has helmets and masks covering their face.
Okay, but like from their body language, are they like all at attention? You know, or they kind of
They're
slack?
looking at their body language, you can tell
Yeah.
that they are more like the Queen's Guard in the UK. They take their job
Alright.
extremely seriously. No one's
Gotcha.
allowed to laugh or anything like that.
Mhm.
But they are extremely properly trained. And judging from the appearance and the hospice that the guards at front were doing when Sentry was looking at the lock, as well as hearing that Yol and Tor trained all of the guard that roam the royal castle, you can tell that they take their job to a whole different level of seriousness.
Good to know.
Hey,
That's all I wanted to know.
Yo, all I gotta say is I may have made a thin line with me and the king, so I shall not speak with him much. This is like announcement for me, as like my kingdom spoke casually to the king. Now, the third problem is he's a king.
Yes. Oh,
You know that.
finally, finally,
We all
we
know
figured
that.
out
We,
what reality shows.
we all knew that.
Yeah,
So, quick thing, Remy. Quick thing, as Ari to Remy, the DM is king.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. And the factor of I misspoke. I talked commonly, and then I misspoke. That was what my big mistake was. I talked as if I was talking down to him, which was not meant to be the case.
As you walk to the door, which is now slowly but surely being unlocked again. Sentry, I want you to make a perception and or investigation check.
Definitely investigation, because that's a 17.
17. You notice that because the main reason I'm telling you this is
If there's little creatures in there or whatever's in there that he's trying to see, I would be casting resistance on them to bolster their ability to resist, to not be seen.
the actually with a 17, you notice slight movements inside of the door itself. Not so near the lock, but more so coming from the upper ends of the door, where the lock is nowhere near. As
So that's a natural creature that has made a home in there as a trap.
basically, in
Awesome.
which
That's cool. He's definitely going to clock that, and that is definitely something he's going to think about in the future.
what kind of creature it is, you have no idea. All you know,
but it's just something really cool for them to know. And I thank you for that little bit of information.
in which all you see is a little bit of movement slithering from the top of the door, kind of weaving its way into where the lock is, and it stops at the lock before it completely unlocks the door itself. And
Ooh, so I've got a better angle from the back of the door then. That's awesome. Thank you for that one. That's really cool. Awesome. Hell yeah, I'm happy with that one. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Study the area.
Just so we're clear though, if that's a living creature, I was trying to make it harder for him to see it.
It is not a living creature.
Okay, then I wouldn't be able to try.
No, that was a little call to the magical doors in a magical bank.
Okay, no, I gotcha.
Okay, so
I got the nod there as well, Rain. Don't worry.
So, sorry if I sound like I'm talking too much. I apologize for that. That is my bad. I feel bad about that.
As the door finishes opening, you also hear from as soon as the doors finish locking from behind you to close up the gate, you hear some rackets from outside as a person, as you see to the left-hand side, a fire start with glass breaking, and guards pull in a what proceeds to be some kind of merchant that is just raising all hell. And I would like someone who is interested in the door to make an arcana check.
Oh, I'll do that if I want. Or wait, no, wait.
Sentry already rolled.
Yeah.
That's a 23 total. You said someone who's interested in the door. We already
Yep.
know that Sentry is definitely interested in the door.
So,
23.
with a 23, you see this merchant just yelling, just absurdities, just like, death to the king! Fuck you! And all this other stuff as they bring and haul this merchant to the door, to the lock of the door. And they make him stare inside the lock for 3 seconds. Once when the 3 seconds ends, no one else necessarily notices it. But you see an evil creature that has black claw-like hands reach out and kind of caress the cheek of this merchant. And you just see leaning forward is the head with red eyes. As it speaks, what language do you know?
I only know Common and Elven, so I wouldn't understand it.
It speaks in a different language that you don't know before the merchant becomes paralyzed. As with the other hands, you see these black claw-like protrusion comes out, stabs the merchant into the back. As you hear the clothes rip and tear. And it says in common, death does not await. And it drags the merchant into the door, where on the door itself, you see the movement very slightly and subtly slither back up into the door. And a moment later, on the opposite door that the creature was at, a new face appears.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
That's fucking cool, but
that is so badass. I am so glad that was noticed.
Hey, let me ask: do we have the merchant get fucking slurped?
Only one person. That was the whole thing.
Holy shit! I must have been looking forward, like thinking about shit.
Only Sentry knows of what just happened.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank God I wasn't.
No, they would not mention a single thing of that. I'm so sorry. But
Oh no, that's fine. I didn't expect.
oh my god, no, that is something that they know. They've already been given a warning not to do any study on it. They're not writing this down. They're not doing anything. So that is for them and them alone. That is their knowledge. Oh my god, yeah, no.
That is fucked, honestly.
Nah, that's theirs.
That reminds me of like the face stealer from Avatar. That kind of fucked.
And with
this is a case of Rain. We're gonna need to have different conversations about where I want this character to go now.
And with that, that is the end of this session.
Damn.
What a fucking ending, bro.
Have a duel and have a wife, yo. This is W.
Yo, man, I gotta say that one Taurus has shown his hand that he's learning. He's very much learning right at this moment. He's learning to how should we say it? Hold his fucking tongue in the presence of royalty.
Remy?
He's talking to common people.
Remy, you need to learn the same lesson, bro.
Yes.
Tiaria made a friend, her first friend.
Let's go, W.
Their first friend.
I apologize for talking so much. I just feel bad now because I know I talk too much.
Wait, the big T make friends with John.
At least in Tiara's mind. Tiara's mind, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
W.
That's my
And
That's my right to be.
in Tiaria's mind, yes, they have made a brand new friend.
I have made a in my mind as Juan Torres. He's realized, hey, these people are scary, but cool. Scarier, more scary but cool.
Yes, I made them that way so because I knew one of y'all were going to do something of that nature. So I basically made them the fuck around and you definitely find out.
Dude, Horace almost died. Like he would have died right there. He would have been the example character.
If I had watched him done for me, I think I would have readied my axes
Dude, my guy like
and
could
have raged.
Let's put it this
Honestly,
way. At this level that you are at right now, it would be a 1v6 and you would have all died. I'm just
I
gonna
wouldn't
say
have fought, just so we're clear, I wouldn't have fought back.
dude. Honestly, one Taurus, dude, he does not know how to talk to royalty. Like, it's very evident he's not used to it.
But
Is
Alex, are you
That's
still
not
streaming?
it, though. I just want to say Cove doesn't believe in royalty because we don't have like things like that in my city. So I was just talking like I talk to everyone. So
that's what my guy was doing.
But the difference is Cove, because of that, Cove's, from what I've noticed, is Cove's whole city has more respect for each other as a whole, because there was still a very respectful tone there when he was speaking to at least what's perceived as the head of the family. In theory, you still had that, at least that common courtesy to be like, well, this is the head of this family, in theory, and you still spoke nice to the king enough to be accepted as you will still be respectful. That's the difference in you guys talking as you would normally.
I spoke normally, I spoke respectfully, but I spoke about the wrong topic. That's what one Taurus did.
Well, everyone, I do hope that you enjoyed this session. Next week we will be going back to our standard time of 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of this 5 shit, so that way we at least have a little bit more time to actually go through details that are important. And which I will say, next session will be shopping spree. So hope
And I would
Yep.
like to talk to you at some point, ideally.
Man,
Yes,
me-
I will set up a current date for everyone to meet up with me, because I know that right now is not going to work out. But thank you all for
I
joining.
need to talk about a few different things now.
Yes.
I also have to talk, but that will be later when it's convenient for you, Rain.
Alrighty, but thank you all so much for joining me. I hope that y'all
Thanks for
enjoyed
having
it.
me.
Thank you for running yet another amazing game, Rain.
That was so fun. I had so much fun.
Glad that everyone
I'm
had
having an
fun.
amazing time.
Absolutely fucking loved that ending.